Hey guys, it's Troy. Welcome to another episode. Become the man who says no easily, all right? Say no easily. You want to be somebody who is turning down invitations, not coveting and desperately trying to obtain invitations, okay? Or invitations, you know, let's extend it out. Opportunities, networking events, trips, all this different stuff. You want to be the guy who is so fixated on his own mission, who's so fixated on the things that he has to do, that he's not easily swayed from that path, okay? And it's been said by many people, I think Alex Hormozy amongst them, but many other people, that actually the biggest art in terms of success of any kind, and we'll get to some dating stuff in a minute, is the ability to say no, okay? One of the things that clutters us up more than anything else is saying yes to too much stuff. I've experienced this in all aspects of my life, okay? Saying yes to this person, to that opportunity, to this other opportunity over there. Your focus is scattered, you're all over the place, and fundamentally you are too available, okay? Now, let's now talk about dating, or this in the context of dating, okay? When you start getting out and about and bringing new people into your life, you know, meeting women, whether that's through in-person meeting, which is what I recommend, or whether you're using the dating apps or some combination of both, you know, when you start to do this with a degree of finesse and a degree of skill, you're going to start to get opportunities, okay? You're going to start to get women who show some interest, and there's the opportunity for you to meet up with them and to have a date, have a coffee, whatever, you know, have a drink, whatever it is, okay? And sometimes the demands of the women that you meet are not going to be ones that suit you, okay? So it might be that you say to a girl, you seem cool, so why don't we meet for drinks and we can see what the chemistry's like. I know this really cool bar. And then she comes back and she says, no, I always prefer to go to restaurants on the first date, okay? So why don't we go to this 3 Michelin star restaurant that I know? It's really great. It's going to cost us $500 a head, but whatever. She's not going to say that, but you know, you look at it, it's an expensive place. You are perfectly within your rights to just say no, or in fact, not even say anything. Just don't respond, okay? Just leave her on red. All right, you're perfectly within your rights to do that, and in fact you should do that, because otherwise what are you really signaling? You know, you're signaling desperation. You know, you've made a suggestion, you've invited her for this drink, right? You've invited her for this meeting, you've made your suggestion, she's countered with something, probably, you know, for fairly self-aggrandizing reasons, okay, or self-enriching reasons. And if you just roll over and accept that, that's no good. It's no good, man. You know, how's that going to make you look? How's that going to make you feel? How's that going to make your wallet look the next day? Okay, that's the other thing. All right. So be prepared to say no. Now, the other sort of scenario that might happen is that you message a girl, you try to sort something out. She's kind of flaky. She doesn't agree to the original time, then you suggest another time and she agrees to that, and then she cancels last minute. And then out of the blue, a couple of days later, she says, oh, how about that coffee, right? At that point, really, you should say no. And the reason that you should say no is because she's already disrespected you twice, okay? She's already disrespected you twice because you've already given her 2 opportunities to meet up. You've arranged the thing, you know, you've given her the location, whatever, and she's either pushed back or she's flaked, okay? So then giving her a 3rd opportunity when it's all right for her, you know, when suddenly she's got a bit of a gap in her schedule, again, what does that say about you? It displays weakness, it displays a certain level of desperation, it displays a certain lack of respect for yourself and for your time, okay? Remember, you're trying to, you should be presenting here as a in inverted commas, high value man, okay? Does the high value man have time to drop everything just to meet up with somebody who has already messed him around twice. No, of course not. Of course not. Absolutely not. You've got things to do. You've got important things to do in the furtherance of your life. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, actually, I don't. I was just going to be sitting around watching Netflix anyway. Well, if that's the case, then there are deeper structural issues that you need to look at. You need to find important things that you should be doing in the furtherance of your goals. And if you haven't got any goals, you need to get some quickly, okay? Because our time on this planet is finite. Our time on this planet is very limited. And regardless of the dating stuff, putting that out of the way for 1 minute, you need to have something that you're working towards. You need to have a series of things that you are working towards. Primarily, I would suggest in the areas of fitness and physical health, in the interest of making money, in the interest of some sort of creative or other pursuit where you're building something, okay? Those are probably the 3 main areas. You also obviously want to make sure you look good, all that kind of stuff, but you want to make sure that you're out there and you're doing something meaningful with your life, okay? And if you're not, if you're just going to a job that you hate every day and then you're going home and you're watching Netflix, and so the reality of the situation is that your time is infinitely available, then that's not a good thing for you, okay? That's not a good thing for you and your life. It doesn't say good things to me about you and your life, but equally it means that you are available in a way that actually makes you less desirable to the women you would seek to be with, okay? Remember, scarcity creates desire. Instant availability detonates it, okay? Scarcity creates desire, simple economic principle. So you want to be a scarce asset. Now, yes, when you encounter a woman that you're attracted to, of course, you're going to make some space. You're going to say, hey, listen, you know, Thursday, 6 o'clock, I can meet you. Fine, I can meet you or 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever it is. I can meet you. We can have a couple of drinks, okay? But it's on your terms and it's on your timetable, all right? The man who says no, who is able to say no, is infinitely more attractive than the man who just says yes to anything, okay? At any time, just because somebody who's quite attractive finally gives him a slot. So remember that, put that into action. Scarcity creates demand and desire, okay? Abundance of your presence kills it. Remember. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you got something out of it. Leave your comments below. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll speak again very soon. Bye-bye.